And what's going on, everybody? And we are logging on to episode 157 of the podcast. We're back. We're back, bitches.
Hello.
I'm your host, Frank McKnight, with my other host, Luke Gans. Thank you for being here, my friend.
What's up, brother?
And it's been a while. It truly has been
been a
2-3 months. We were busy with the gaming at first and life in between as well. And but we made it here to give you guys an episode on this lovely Monday that when this comes out. Today's topic is our top 5 favorite movie directors. It could be TV directors too, but I believe on both of our lists we're gonna have mainly probably, movie directors.
It's probably mostly gonna be movies.
Without a doubt. It is September now. I would like to give a little.
Correct.
I would like to give a little recap of how our summers were, how we enjoyed our summers and everything. I had a blast. Was I busy? Sure, but I had a blast this summer. I thought we had great weather, some heat waves in between, but all good, very eventful. How was yours?
It was great, but I can't wait for the fall.
Me too.
When it's 50 degrees outside, I'm thriving. I'm just full maximum power because I am enjoying the summer more. That I have not. I don't want to say I have to, but with my wife being part Cuban, she's just in the sun 90% of the time.
Right.
So for me, I kind of have to learn to be like, you gotta come out from under the umbrella for a second. So like for me, it's getting better in that sense, but at the same time, like when fall rolls around, like right now when I'm waking up in the morning, and again I'm going outside in a hoodie and shorts,
and it's
I'm
a little chill. Man,
it's just the best kind of weather. So for right now, summer was great, had a blast. Did all that stuff, got a house, did all those good things, and now I'm ready to pivot into fall. I'm like, I have no desire to be in the heat anymore. I'm done with that shit.
Especially this past week. The mornings have been so nice and like crisp. It's been beautiful. Like it gets you in the mood for the fall
that
weather.
Jersey
like,
weather.
It's ready. Yeah,
everyone's got
weather.
The only thing I will die on a hill with, though, like, I'm not a big pumpkin guy at all. Like, I don't really fuck with pumpkin-related items.
Like eating?
Just eating. Yeah, no.
Or anything.
No, yeah, I'm scared of pumpkins.
Okay, I was about to say, I don't know, a phobia or something.
No, I don't have a phobia of pumpkins. No. I don't like pumpkin, coffee, creamer, shit like that. Like, I'll eat pumpkin seeds, but I don't eat that other, I don't drink it, whatever.
Yeah.
I just said I'm the first person to be excited for the fall. Like, I love when this weather rolls around. Yeah. But it can't be the first week of August. And they're like, pumpkin spice is back. It's like, It was back mad quick. That doesn't... counterproductive. Like, I'm the first one rushing to the fall. I'm like, I would rather if August was cold the whole month.
Yeah.
But it's like... You're still toting that it's summertime. People are still doing stuff outside.
Yeah.
And it's 90 degrees, and you're like, gotta go get my pumpkin spice latte. It's like that's disgusting.
I had one today at Dunkin'. Dunkin' today.
That's its own. You are fucked up.
No. It was a pumpkin spice latte. It was a nice app deal that
the way that you voluntarily drink Dunkin' Donuts is something that I think I would check you into a mental health center.
Bro, I'll tell you what. So many people at work, like, because I drink like IPAs and iced coffee. I swear to God, iced coffee. They think I'm fucking nuts.
Well, you're just fucked up in general, first off, but both of us, so it's not news. But
yeah, I mean, whatever. It's so funny, but whatever.
I just don't... Dunkin' to me... Like, there's some mornings I'll be like, yeah, fuck it, I need a Dunkin' coffee, but it's like me just drinking like 32 ounces of milk. That's really all it is.
They do go heavy on the cream and like half and half.
It's cream, half and half.
They do.
The sugar's in the bottom of the cup, just like it's like a rim of sugar.
I got the Dunkin' hack for you.
The Dunkin' hack.
The Dunkin' hack.
Everyone close your ears because you can't let the audience know what it is.
You download the app. And then you actually are able to choose the amount of like milk or whatever you want in it. So that's what I do. I don't say it's a 1, 2, 3 scale of how much milk you want.
Yeah, I usually just tell them 2 pumps.
Dude, I put one.
They still pour the half thing in there. They still pour the whole thing in.
No, dude, they're good with
crazy.
it. They're good with it.
That's nutty, dude.
At least at the one over by you.
Maybe mine just all hate me, but, and I wouldn't download the app either because I'm off the grid. I can't, I'm completely off the grid right now, so I wouldn't be able to do that. But whenever I drink iced coffee in general, like I want to have one that hopefully will propel me not to have two, if that makes sense.
It does.
So if I have like Rook, for example, or Cali Cold in Manalapan, if I have either of those, like 9 out of 10 times, I'm good. I'm like, I don't need another one of these.
Okay.
If I have even Starbucks now, if I have Starbucks or one at home, like I drink a lot of like the fucking bottle shit, and I mean it's fine, but I'll have that. Like I had that this morning, and then literally I was like, okay, I need another coffee. Like 2 hours later, and I'm like, that's so counterproductive.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I should transfer over to Rook. Because
I think you'd have a heart attack if you drank Rook.
Really? I don't know. With Dunkin', I do definitely need a second cup like midday.
Yeah,
and the
but
coffee
you just
I make
get
at
an
home.
iced coffee or a cold brew. Like, what do you get?
No, it's a regular iced coffee with the caramel.
Yeah. So I would imagine like, and it's funny because like my wife likes Starbucks. I'll drink Starbucks, but I'm a big Rook guy, and it's just because I've figured out my order. There have been some that I've been like, all right, that's not for me.
Trial and error.
But I know my wife can't drink Rook, which is funny because she does better with caffeine than I do, but she gets very jittery on when she drinks Rook.
I would be nervous about that. I've gotten that way sometimes.
Well, you just do a half cap. You just do a half calf, like half caffeinated. You should be. I mean, at least try it that way, and then you could be like, "All right, cool. Like this is way too much or whatever." Because it's just
test the waters.
It's just
and then if anything, go full throttle.
I love telling people the first time I ever had Rook, like when it opened years ago.
Yeah,
I didn't understand how concentrate worked.
Yeah,
I'm a fucking idiot.
I don't fucking know either.
It's literally just concentrate is just exactly like a dab would be, where you don't need a joint or a whole right. You just take a dab, and that's the concentrate of the THC. Where you're like, it's the same thing. But I was drinking the Rook concentrate, which comes in a bottle, and I literally the first time I ever got one of those bottles, I just poured it in, like in a cup, like a full cup of it.
What are you supposed to do?
Like you're supposed to do half and half, like half water or half like
dilute it a little bit.
You have to. You're supposed to do half water, half concentrate, and then dilute it with a creamer or whatever you need to. But I literally like the first time just took a cup to the dome, and I was fucking just seeing stars for like a week. I was like, I'm never gonna drink coffee ever again. Like,
that's crazy. I don't know any other coffee place that does that. Like sell it like that, right?
Most of them, a lot of them now, like will sell them in the bottle or the bag. But this was also a while ago. Not that it's diluted more now. Like it is a little bit, but. This was years ago when I got it. Even during COVID, I was buying it from their, like I was going down to Belmar or Point Pleasant, wherever the hell their like headquarters is, down in the shore.
And Rook is headquarters?
Yeah, they're only. Shit. So I found out Rook is actually only Monmouth County.
Whoa.
Yep.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so
I thought they were pretty spread out a little bit more.
They only are in Monmouth County. Yep.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I said, I'm like, cool. I always wondered, I'm like, why do they not go like more south or more north? I'm like, they would make so much money going 100%. To some of these other New Jersey towns. Yeah. And I found out that maybe I'm wrong with it, but you can fact check me on it. Well, I'm almost positive it's only.
If they aren't, they definitely should spread. It's almost like an instance with Wawa. Like Wawa was only in a select area at one point, but now that's pretty spread out too.
But I also love like it's the duality of man, right? Because it's like I love the concept that, like you said, it's only by me. Like I love that it's exclusive. Not in North Bergen. I love that it's not in Essex County or Middlesex. Like I love that, but at the same time, you're right. I'd love to be able to be like, all right, cool. I'm driving out to Princeton today, or I'm driving to Hackensack, and I know there's a Rook up there, and I can get it. But it's not the end of the world.
Coffee talk.
That's coffee talk. That's our coffee talk. That's
coffee talk segment.
Cafe coffee.
Yeah, there you go. So we're going to move on to our game real quick that we haven't played in a while. It's our card guessing game. We see an illustrated picture of a actor playing whatever character in a movie, and we got to guess who it is and answer some questions of it. Right now, our score board is score board. Yeah. Let's see. I got 15.
Damn. I have 21.
Yeah. No,
21.
20, you have 22.
22.
You have 22. So I got to do some catching up. It's been done before. Let's see if we could get it done again. Stop. Please give me a good one.
Oh, you're...
Okay, I think I got this one.
All right, we'll see.
All right.
Title of the film.
Gladiator.
Yes.
Okay. What
is the name of the actor?
Russell Crowe.
Got him.
Okay, that's just one other.
That's
point,
1-1.
right?
Yep. So
Okay.
it's 2 more points.
Gotcha.
Who plays the new evil emperor?
The actor, Joaquin Phoenix.
You didn't pronounce it correctly.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
No, you have
It's
to.
Joaquin
There you go,
Phoenix.
perfect. All right, great. So
Is that
2
two?
points. Yeah,
okay. All right. And there's one other one for 3, right?
What we do in life. Finish this quote. What we do in life.
I'm not going to embarrass myself. I won't be able to.
Echoes in eternity.
Okay.
That's just one of the lines. In the
All right.
movie,
So there we go.
All right.
Not too bad.
Cool.
Not too bad.
It's still good for me because I can just. I don't want to say I can coast, but I can.
Well, right now you could very well. You could be in a good state after this round.
I could get a bad card and I could still be in a good spot, or I could have a good card and stop right here.
Like right here.
Right there.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I'm so mad.
Okay. So what is the title of the film? Let me see if I. This is a tough one.
Fuck. Damn. I'm so mad because I know it too. No, I got it. I'll punt it away. What is it?
All right. It is A Few Good Men.
Fuck me. Oh, I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
This one you should get, though, the next question. What is the name of the actor in the picture?
Jack Nicklaus.
Jack
Nicholson, sorry. The golfer, Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah.
The famous golfer, Jack Nicklaus.
All right, that's a point there for you. All right, for 2 points, finish the famous quote.
You can't handle the truth!
There you
There
go.
you go.
Very good. You didn't
I don't even have to wait.
to
Yeah,
there you go.
I don't even need you to finish.
All right.
Tom Cruise.
Okay, close. What is the strategy of Tom Cruise's character when putting Jack Nicholson's character on the stand?
I don't get points for Tom Cruise.
You don't get points for Tom Cruise.
I mean, he applies pressure the whole time and tries to make him obviously confess to the fact that he got his men killed. So, am I like...
Let's see. Well, I'll give it to you. Making him angry so that he tells the truth.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so that's 3.
Cool.
1, 2, 3. You still have a nice lead right now.
A Few Good Men. You're a fucking stupid dude. That's what the movie title should have been for me. One stupid idiot.
They were both red there. There we go. That
I
was
wanted to
the
say
first.
The Hunt for Red October so bad, and I knew it was not right.
Yeah, but he's not in it, right?
You know what I just realized?
What?
They're both red because they're war movies.
Oh, that could
Maybe that's
very
the
well.
color. Maybe I'm not gonna look. I won't. But yeah, maybe that's the.
That could be it.
Yeah, that could be it.
I'll look at the ones upstairs that we've done already too.
Cheater!
And see.
No, I'm kidding.
All right, Luke, we still got you in the lead here, but we got plenty more to go. We'll see how that goes. All right, we're gonna get into our top 5.
28 to 19, not a big deal. Not to.
20.
Whatever.
All right.
It's not. No, we're pulling away. We're fine.
Where main topic is our top 5 favorite movie directors. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, and to be honest with you, this is something we probably should have done a while ago to like almost get a feel of what our movie tastes are, like in a sense. You know what I mean? But I'm glad we're doing it now. I have some honorable mentions.
Okay.
In fact, I got 3 honorable mentions. I'll list them off right now.
Okay, do it.
This one's a hot take a little bit because people would probably think he should be in my top 5. Martin Scorsese. I put him in as an honorable mention. I feel like if you're not going to put him in your top 5, he has to be mentioned like it's almost obligated to.
I would have put him in my "You're a Loser" top 5, and he would have been number 1.
Why? Because of his comments
He's
about
a
Marvel.
fucking idiot. I
am not a fan of his Marvel comments. I'm not, but it is what it is.
He's an idiot.
So listen, 2 movies that I've actually seen just
Great director,
recently, Casino and Goodfellas.
Great movies.
Both great, but Casino was just... Goodfellas was way better
overhyped
than Casino.
for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
100%. And of course, The Wolf of Wall Street. It is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Wolf of Wall Street's on my top 25, but I mean, I like him more for The Departed. The Departed, in my opinion,
Yes.
is one of his best movies, if not his best movie. I mean, I like it I don't want to say the best, but it's up there with one of my favorite of his. Again,
Yeah.
is he 100%? Should he be in my top 5? Yes. Should he be in everyone's top 5 when it comes down to it? Yes. I just don't like the fact that, like, most people or most directors that ever interview and they get, they talk to, it's like they talk about how they wanted to do this to be like storytellers.
Right.
So then
yeah.
the fact that you can shit on a storyteller
Right.
for telling a story is fucked up. Like
I'm
if you
surprised.
just didn't like one movie, like I did not like the 2008 Superman movie with whatever his name was, like
Brandon Roth, Superman
Roth,
Returns.
Sure. 100%. I didn't like the 2000s Hulk movie. Whatever.
Right.
That's fine. But it's like, especially like, you're not talking about just like any other one. You're talking about one of the best Marvel movies, if not the best Marvel movies of all time when it comes to Endgame and Infinity War.
He did it even worse, dude. He's talking about the whole fucking genre.
But it was right when those were coming out. Like, it's right when those were being nominated, and that's when he was like, oh no, that shouldn't be the case. Yeah. And he said that whole genre. So it's like, okay.
Very hypocritical.
Again, I get it. Like, I mean, I understand it. But if that's the case and you're like, all right, well, like, superhero movies can never win it ever again, then you have to put them up for their own category if that's what you really want to do.
Agreed.
Because it's not fair to think that, like, again, I wasn't the biggest Black Panther fan. Like, I thought it was a good movie. Again, it's a top Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But it was being shit on for not being nominated that year.
You're right.
So it's like,
you're right.
Wait a second. That can get the nom, but then Infinity War Endgame can't get the nod.
I know.
It's like
I know.
that you can't be, you can't choose to do it that way. You just, if that's the case, oh yeah, because look at the movies behind you. Those are some of the greatest movies ever, in my opinion. And it's like you're going to tell me that they couldn't be nominated because they're superhero movies?
I know.
Come on.
It's weird how they decide. I guess
it's
how
just
the
shitty
Academy
to think
decides.
because you're getting a whole new generation of kids that want to be a Scorsese or a Spielberg or a Francis Ford Coppola or whoever it is, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of that is going to become that sci-fi-y genre. Like, I mean, that's just the world is advancing. Like, these things are becoming more technologically driven.
Yeah.
And they have to be more outer worldly because that's where the world is moving.
It's
like,
that direction it's going.
So it's just shitty to think it's like you're gonna take someone's creative ability and be like, oh, like you're a piece of shit. For
yeah, I'll never understand why.
So that's why for me, I'll always be pissed at him with that because it's like, dude, my whole life, my whole childhood, I didn't like any other movies but Star Wars. Like that was my whole like childhood.
Yeah.
So it's like you just shit. Like I loved that man. And then he just shit on I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'll go fuck myself. I thought you were literally the best ever.
Right.
And now you're going to say that. It's like, that's kind of like, it's shitting on everyone else's
work.
What they've built.
Yeah. Work.
Yeah. So.
I agree.
Fucking.
I agree. Not a class act.
Good
that
director.
wasn't a class act then.
Good director. Top 5 director, definitely. But you won't be on my list either. So don't worry about it.
Another honorable mention, I have Taika Waititi.
Oh, okay, cool.
We got him. Obviously, he directed Thor Ragnarok, one of the best Marvel movies on that same topic. Thor Love and Thunder wasn't that good. I was pretty disappointed in him for that. He also directed Jojo Rabbit, which I thought was a sick movie.
Awesome fucking movie.
I thought that was an awesome movie.
That movie was so fucking good. That movie is so underrated.
I agree. I agree.
Having Hitler as your imaginary friend.
I know. I thought it was one of the funniest things. But then it also has its really emotional parts.
Spoiler, with the mom?
Yeah, with Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, the mom.
Crazy.
No, it could be serious at points too.
Very good movie. I think that's probably his best movie in my opinion. From what I've seen,
I will agree with that. Correct. Yeah, I agree with that. And then I'm going to bring up a show that he actually produced and made. What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, so fucking good.
I see clips on that on TikTok all the time.
You've never watched
I've never watched it. And
bro,
dude, I'll tell you what, I am
show.
Dying laughing every clip I see they put out on TikTok.
New York City.
Yeah, you're the most devious bastard in New York City.
A couple years ago, I committed. It was probably 2 years ago. Same thing. I always saw the clips.
You watched it.
And I watched it, and I was like, oh, this was so fucking worth it. Like, it's so
I'm going to get into it. It's a show I want to.
It is fantastic. One of my favorite, just sit down. Like, it's an Always Sunny type.
Yes.
I'll sit down, binge 10 episodes, and be like, all right, I'm good,
yeah. But he started that, so I'll give him props for that. And the third, of the last of my honorable mentions is Wes Anderson. He just directed the recently new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which I thought was just a beautiful film. And maybe I'm only saying that because I had pretty low expectations for the movie, now being owned by Disney. And I thought they were really going to destroy the legacy of the, like War and Dawn and all that. Yeah. But it was a great fucking movie.
Great fucking movie.
And he's going to direct the live-action Legend of Zelda movie, and I think he's such a good world builder that he's the perfect person to make that happen. So those are my honorable
We're the
mentions
biggest pro Planet of the Apes show that you'll ever
that is
encounter.
without a doubt.
And
I watch a lot like clips and full episodes of other movie podcasts. No one's talking. I'm telling you, no one is talking about.
No one gives Planet of the Apes any type of
they really
acknowledgement.
Don't. Yeah, no.
That trilogy was so good, and again, it's not like they're all 9 out of 10s. Like that's not it. But it was such a consistent trilogy that was very underwhelming to most. Like I don't think it killed it in the box office. I think it did good.
No,
they
did good, but they weren't like explosive.
But nobody was talking about them. But they were great movies consistently.
Yep.
And then, like you said, they put this out at the end of it. I mean, you can go back episodes. Probably
the beginning episodes.
Probably 2 or 3 years ago, though, I was talking about how at the end of Dawn, Rise. What's the last one in the trilogy? War.
Yeah.
In War, at the end of it, they foreshadow the future about him dying, and they're like, "Oh, it's going to be a whole nother movie series."
With
blah,
the
blah.
humans not being able
Correct.
to talk. Yes, they did foreshadow.
They had said that, and then the next thing you know, they end up doing it. So cool concept. Good picks there.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Wes Anderson. I was like, oh, Wes Anderson, like the.
Oh no, like WES. WES. Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson. No, Wes Anderson didn't.
Yeah, he did. He did Kingdom. You don't think so? Are you looking it up? I'll look it up too. Maybe I got my facts wrong. I'm pretty sure it was Wes Anderson who directed it. He also did a lot of those stop motion type of movies.
Wes Anderson did like Fantastic Mr. Fox, Asteroid City, Grand Budapest. No, he didn't do.
He did Kingdom.
No, he did.
Well, who directed Kingdom?
I'll look right now. I don't think he did that.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Wes Ball.
Got my facts mixed up. That's embarrassing.
Wes Ball did Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Maze Runner, Zelda.
Yeah, okay. Wes Ball. All right, fine. That's fucking embarrassing. I got my names mixed up there. But I'm actually not too mad that I said Wes Anderson because he's also fantastic.
We were just testing you guys. You passed. You knew.
Thank you for that.
No problem. Frank texted me and said, Luke, make sure you fact check me on it. I'm just testing the people that are listening. So don't worry about it. I got you, bro. I got you. I wasn't going to let you. All right, no, he's just going to leave me hanging, though. Look at this.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
God, this is the worst day of my life. I just sat there like this for how fucking long. Damn.
Oh, man. All right, what you...
All right, well, my favorite is Wes Anderson. No. So my honorable mentions are Scorsese again. I mean, Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Wolf of Wall Street, and The Departed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alfred Hitchcock, Psycho, classic. Vertigo, North by Northwest. Not for me, right? I haven't seen a ton of his stuff, but he's one of the top 5 of all time.
He's a staple.
If you're talking about people that are movie critics, I guess that's us technically, but whatever.
In a lyric of the epic rap battles of history, he was in one of them, and he says, "I made people scream with chocolate syrup," and he did. Like that's what he used as blood in Psycho in the shower scene.
Watch me make a movie like Alfred Hitchcock, Pitbull. Pitbull.
Like Pitbull the...
Mr. 305, Dale. Yeah.
What about... Wait, I'm sorry.
That was a line.
Oh.
Yeah. Watch me make a movie like Alfred Hitchcock.
There you go. All right.
And then I think he proceeded to say...
So Pitbull knows what's good too.
Dale.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
George Lucas, my next one.
Thought he was going to be in your actual top 5.
He can't be in my top 5 in the sense of the full body. Like, obviously, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3. Some of my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
But outside of that, there's not... Like, he would have been my 5, but I mean, there's a lot of really good directors, and, I mean, you'll see when you get to some of my other ones, like, why. Again, he is tied with my number 5 that's on there that I have. But again, it's just so tough for me. It's like I can't put him on knowing it was just Star Wars.
I agree with that statement.
Am I being the same way as Scorsese was, where you can't put someone on your top 5 because they're sci-fi stuff? No, but it's just like for me, he's my honorable mention right there.
He should rightfully be so on there. He honestly, as not a Star Wars guy, he should have still been on my honorable mention list because he created an incredible franchise.
And he's also another honorable mention is Peter Jackson right behind him.
I was gonna put him on there too, but I didn't because I love that fucking King Kong movie. I know he's Lord of the Rings.
He says, I love that King Kong movie.
I do. I fucking love that King Kong
How are you not going to say, I love the Lord of the Rings movies, pause, space, and the King Kong movie?
Because I still have not watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So I'm not going to be fake out here. But I am planning on watching the trilogy with Steve-O.
What if I just break your leg and then you can't...
Please do.
All right, cool.
Please do. Yeah.
Right, awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
I would love to do a compilation of all the times I've told you to watch something.
I know.
And you watch it and be like, oh, this was great. It's like...
Yeah. Well, we'll do that for
Did you realize that... On a side note, did you realize the text message I sent you the other day where that was?
Yes, that's where we saw
Tenet.
Tenet. Yeah,
okay,
I
cool.
know.
I was driving. Yeah. I was driving by it, and I stopped, and Kayla we were getting lunch.
Of course I knew.
And I looked, and I was like,
yeah,
I know it. I was like, I know it.
Picture show.
That's
theaters.
it. Picture show theaters.
Yes. One of the only theaters with balls to stay open during that time.
We drove all the way out there to go see Tenet, and then
I'll
never forget the drive home. Frank's just like, I don't think I liked that movie. I was like, I fucking loved that movie. This is an awkward car ride home. Tim Burton.
Good choice.
Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, Sweeney Todd, Corpse Bride, solid movies.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott,
Good
Blade
choice
Runner,
too.
Gladiator, Napoleon, all that stuff. David Fincher.
Good.
Seven, Zodiac, Gone Girl, Social Network.
I got a very, not even a take, just an unpopular thing that I experienced, went through, whatever. Seven.
Uh-huh.
Tried watching it. Keyword tried.
Couldn't
Fell
finish
asleep.
it? Like bored, fell asleep, or you were tired from work?
No, both.
Okay, that doesn't count then.
Okay, all right.
That can't count. I know
you
what
brought
you
some
mean.
peace to my mind in that sense.
If it wasn't 100% drawing you in, that's okay.
It wasn't.
But you were tired. Were you tired?
I was tired.
Then you can't do that. If you're tired during a movie, it's not because you're skewing the way you're thinking about the entire thing.
Agree with you.
Because you're like, oh, I'm staying up to watch it. Like,
yeah,
it's not like you watched all of it. You're like, oh, I loved it, and then I fell asleep for the ending. Like, whatever. Like,
right.
You can't do that, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I'll take your word for it because that makes me feel better on that instance.
And then Denny.
Yes. Wow, he's in your honorable mentions.
He's in my honorable because it's Dune. I mean, it's not just Dune, but it's
for you.
Listen, when I do my top 5, people are gonna listen. This top 5 should have been a top fucking 10. Like it should have been.
No, agreed.
It's
hard.
You're 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and of course I got a tie in there because you can't fucking. I can't do shit without a tie. Those 6 people are still even some of the best. And again, you can make the argument that Ridley Scott should be in there over this person, or Scorsese should be number 1, or whatever. But that's my thing. So those are my honorables.
I like those honorable mentions. Those were good.
You want me to just do my 5 and 4, and then we'll pivot over? So my 5 is Francis Ford Coppola, Godfather, Outsiders, Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
I mean. No. Could be 1, could be 5, could be 3. He's one of the best to do it. He's still directing or dead?
Francis Ford Coppola. I was so confused when this movie,
Metropolis?
Is it called? Megalopolis or whatever is coming out. Which I'm not hearing great things about.
I'm hearing very bad things about. 54 on Rotten Tomato right now.
Yeah, it's not looking good, and this is like I feel like months before it even comes out. Yeah, I don't know what his deal is.
He's 85.
I don't know what his deal is with making films are now. I don't know if he either lost his touch or. But the other thing is too, this they released a trailer for this. Let's just call it Megalopolis. I don't know what it's actually.
Yeah, I
called.
think it's Megalopolis. I think you're fine.
It's very out of his field. I feel like.
Well, it's funny, looking at it, right? The last time he made a movie or whatever, right? So Godfather Part 2, Outsiders, 1983. Godfather Part 2 is 1974.
Yeah.
Godfather Part 3 is 1990.
Yeah.
Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992. Apocalypse Now, 1972. The Godfather, 1972. Apocalypse Now, 1979. Godfather, 1972. Megalopolis, 2024.
No, it's crazy. That's crazy. What a gap. What a gap.
I didn't take a couple years off. I took a decade.
Right.
What are you fucking doing? Whatever. I mean, hey, good for you, but...
Yeah, but he probably shouldn't have. He probably shouldn't have made...
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, you're right. I guess we'll see.
It might just be mediocre at best and whatever. It's fine.
Sure.
Is this going to put him on the...
off of his...
Is this going to fucking...
Pool
oh my God, he shouldn't be a top 5 director anymore because he made a shitty movie. Everybody
happens.
on this list did.
Everyone has a bad day at work.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
So that's my 5. Okay. And then my 4 is Stanley Kubrick.
Space Odyssey.
Space Odyssey... Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket. Yeah. I mean...
Wow, you know what? I didn't fucking realize he did Full Metal Jacket.
Yep, he did all of it. So
I didn't know that.
Crazy fucking shit. Clockwork Orange is one of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Disturbing too.
Such a fucking crazy movie. I'll never forget watching that at Grant's house with me, Grant, and Tony.
That must have been a time.
I don't even remember who else was there, but when I tell you the 3 of us watched it and whoever else was there, I think Ricky, maybe Kevin were there, maybe Matt, I don't even know.
But the fact that you guys were
I'll never forget, we watched
younger,
it.
Obviously.
We watched it, and I remember us all just being like, we had to go to bed after that, and we were all just like, okay.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about that? We were just like, what the fuck did we just watch?
Yeah.
Again, we're in high school, maybe sophomores, maybe juniors at most. Yeah. And I just remember being like, what the absolute fuck was that?
It's
crazy movie. Good movie, but crazy movie.
Yeah.
And then so that's my 5 and my 4.
Okay. My number 5, we're gonna start off with James Gunn.
Okay.
Couple reasons why. He made one of the only good DC movies in that universe, The Suicide Squad. We'll start off with that little tidbit.
Okay.
And then, the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, obviously, because at the time when that first one came out, it was a very ambitious and very risky thing to make because the superhero genre wasn't as popular as it is now.
No, yeah,
and it's with characters no one fucking knew about.
No, yeah, no.
And he's skilled. An incredible first movie. The second and third, I mean, obviously when I rank them, it's 1, 3, 2, but they were all good. And he did a great job with them. Now I also put him on as my number 5 because he's probably the best. I might have to be careful with my words here.
Oh, God.
He might be the best superhero director we've had thus far. And I only said I'll be careful with that because I might take those words back if I think of someone else.
Well, you're wrong.
Who do you think? The Russos.
No.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
But as far as scale.
No.
And working with a
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you're
That's
talking.
Hard to do.
I know what you're exactly talking about. But no, it can't. You cannot, in my opinion, you cannot say that anyone did it better than that because you're right that that's not a universe, but that is a universe of comic books, material, 100%. Imagination.
They had the resources to pull from.
Exactly. So did James Gunn.
Yeah.
Again, different times, and he was going into a full universe that was being created, so
Correct.
It's tough, where Nolan kind of was like, hey, you're kind of getting the keys to the castle
exactly.
here, you're doing
it alone.
He was
able to do his own thing, yeah.
But in my opinion, I love Guardians.
Yeah.
But that's number 1. Then you can make the argument, again, in my opinion, then you do Russo's or Gunn.
Yeah.
And I think Russo's is going to be dependent on this next movie, though. Because I think if Russo's do this next movie great, then they surpass Gunn because
Agreed.
I mean, Infinity War and Endgame are better movies than any of the Guardians movies.
Yeah.
Guardians are right behind that, but...
Let me throw this at you. He's now co-CEO of DC Studios.
But that's...
We'll see how that goes. So let me ask you this. Okay.
I love this. Let's do it.
The Russos make Doomsday and Secret Wars, and they're excellent, right?
Uh-huh.
James Gunn, 5 years down the line, they have a successful DC film universe. Who's the better producer / director? Who is? Is it the Russos or James Gunn?
I love talking semantics, so I will always talk, because you know that's not going to happen because it's DC and they will find every single way to fuck it up however they...
Don't say DC, say Warner Brothers.
Okay, fine. Warner Brothers / DC, because at the end of the day, DC's signing off on everything that happened, regardless if we like it or not. It's the same thing with Star Wars.
Okay, good point.
At the end of the day, you can have fucking... It does not matter. You can have Dave Filoni writing the scripts, but guess what? Kathleen Kennedy's kicking in and being like,
one.
Oh, make it a woman! Make it a woman! Like...
You're right.
Listen, I know what you mean.
But James Gunn has the keys to the castle right now, too.
And that's great.
Yeah.
But... if we want to get into that, okay, let's just put him at 2. Let's put the Russos under him, right? Again,
Gunn, Russos.
We need to see how the Russos end up doing Secret Wars and Doom, because in my
it's
opinion, they're going to be, knock on wood, but they're going to probably be fucking awesome.
I agree.
Great.
I agree with
that. But let's just, for semantics' sake, say whatever, they're not that good. Fine, put him at 2. He's still
Christopher Nolan.
That's still better in the serving size, because then if you're saying James Gunn with his whole production thing, then I'm gonna say, okay, well, Tenet and Inception are like superhero-like, and Interstellar, like they're sci-fi, so technically they're in the, you know what I mean? Then you start to get into being tough, because it's like time travel and space travel, and
it all deals with the whole sci-fi genre.
That's where you get into,
But I wouldn't relate that to...
No, it's not superhero. It's different.
Right.
But I'm just saying, you're saying, well, James Gunn's involved in the production. That's not him making those movies. Like, it is him making those movies, but he's not the director. If we're talking about the best director, person that put it together from the film screen of them creating it, in my opinion, it's Nolan with that trilogy.
Yeah.
Then you could make the argument of who's next. Again, I think once we look at it, the Russos will be 2, because I think those 4 movies will be better than the 3 movies of
Guardians,
and then Suicide Squad, right? Because he did Suicide Squad,
and he will have Superman too when it comes out.
I loved Suicide Squad. I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
But those 4 against the Russos 4, you're even if, in my opinion, even if the 2 movies are not that good with Doom and Secret Wars,
it's not going to tarnish it.
It is still him in one because of Infinity War and Endgame's just magnitude. But again, listen, that's why it's your pick, and that's why again. But that's just my point of view with it, right? That's how I'm seeing the.
I respect it, and for most of the points you made, I do agree with.
Yeah,
but you haven't seen, or at least I don't think you haven't seen a director become a co-CEO of a studio. That's fucking awesome. That's cool.
No, it's awesome.
Kevin Feige wasn't even a director. Kevin Feige was always behind the scenes in like the original Spider-Man and X-Men.
Believe me, I am very much on team James Gunn. Like I'm fine. Listen, I want him to do well at DC. I don't give a shit. I'll go see a fucking DC movie. I just shit on DC stuff because it's like they're just like the Giants and the Jets when it comes to Marvel and DC movies. And this is not in a disrespectful way. The Giants are not the best NFL team right now by any means, but the Jets every year, it's the Jets year. Every single year. It's the Jets. We're going to win. We're going to make the playoffs this year. We're going to do it. Okay, great. No problem. Sure. Good luck. 1969 was an awesome year for a Super Bowl. It was. It was great because that's the only time you've won. You can go back on this. Hopefully, listen, you guys win the Super Bowl. Congrats. Good luck. But I've seen 2 Super Bowls in my life, and my parents have seen 4 Super Bowls, and so on and so forth. So it's like I don't listen to the noise of DC being like, oh, we're putting out the Snyder Cut. It's like, okay, cool, Infinity War just came out. Like,
right. There's no comparison.
It's not,
There's no fucking comparison.
And again, there's going to be a lot of people that, I really like DC more and whatever. 100%. Like, I know Todd's more of a DC guy. I know you're more of a DC guy in certain ways.
People, but like, I think people say that not because of the movies. It's because of like the lore,
the comics, the characters. 100%.
And the comics, yeah.
But it's like when you have to just be realistic. When you're putting it pen to paper, it's the same thing. I'll tell people all the time. It's like, I love Star Wars to death, but when it comes to consistency, there's a very much argument to be made with like Harry Potter and Star Wars.
Oh, sure.
Like, in my opinion, all the Star Wars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are better than the Harry Potter movies. Like, when you put them together.
But you're going to have
But the problem
several
is
people that are going to disagree with that.
But then you're going to have the argument of, okay, well, you lose people on 7, 8, and 9 with Star Wars, but then the same thing happens when you lose people on Fantastic Beasts.
Right.
So it very much equals out, like, in my opinion. So it's a tough argument to make.
There's arguments to be made for sure.
Both 100%.
Yeah,
But it's the same thing. If I think James Gunn is in the best case scenario, which helps him because, like, for example, everyone has said for years that they want Dave Filoni to take over Star Wars, be the executive director, kick Kathleen Kennedy, put her on another planet, maybe Mars, without any type of oxygen.
Sure.
Put her there forever, and then put him in charge. But guess what? What's going to happen at the end of the day?
Kathleen Kennedy comes back because she experienced space and actually makes good Star Wars movies.
Kathleen Kennedy, Revenge of the Kennedy.
Exactly.
No, but the whole thing that will happen is that Disney will still be making its Disney touches, which is going it does not matter that you take the keys away from that person. Like, again, Kevin Feige went on a run with Marvel for the longest time. Yeah. And then we saw, okay, well, the gritty stuff happened in Endgame and Infinity War. And then we got everything dumbed down and we're like, the fuck are we watching? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, but so
that wasn't his fault.
It's not, no, it's not his fault. No. It's Disney's fault. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's to say the same thing. Dave Filoni could take over for Kathleen Kennedy, and Disney's still going to come in and be like, like that's always how it's going to be. So that was my point. It's more like that I preserve more because Warner Brothers gave him the fucking reins. And was like, you do it, 100%. That's fine. And once he put out Begins, there's an argument to me have been had that it wasn't that good when it first came out because it didn't blow people's socks off. No. I love that movie.
Me too.
But
you're right.
Warner Brothers could have been like, we're going to make sure we touch this now. We're going to make sure we
they very well could have done.
But they didn't. Then they made the best movie of the trilogy.
Agreed.
And then they put out Rise, which is still a fantastic
quality movie.
So,
agree. I agree with you on that. My number 4 is someone that was in your honorable mentions, Tim Burton. The Beetlejuice franchise. I am so excited to see Beetlejuice next week.
I'm intrigued. It's next week?
Next week. Well, it comes out this Friday. But I'm going to see it next week
Thursday?
when I have time. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, should I go see a movie tomorrow night? Psych, it's the NFL fucking season. You're never going to see me again, Frank. Don't expect anything from me for the next 6 months.
It did just start. You put your draft out and everything.
All my drafts are done. My fantasy's all done. Got dynasty leagues. Got everything. I'm in a very good space right now because I'm only at 3 leagues. In comparison to at one point in my life, I was doing 8.
Oh,
So I'm
good.
I'm in rehab with it. I'm doing great. This is my coin for me being sober from not having 9 fantasy football leagues. So
that's good.
No, but I'm just college football is back, NFL is back. It's such a
good time.
It's
all season.
Because I love this season as a movie person as well. Like, and I know you're not the biggest football fan. No. I know you'll probably just watch it casually, kind of a thing, like Super Bowl, stuff like that, whatever. But for me, the reason I love it is because it's like I can watch shit all week leading up to the NFL and then watch NFL. So I've always got something to watch, which is intriguing to me. You know, again, I'm like, cool, I can watch this movie. Like, I watched The Fall Guy last night.
Yeah.
Great movie. Tomorrow, first Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Then it's a Friday night game. Then Saturday is college football. Then Sunday night's NFL. than Monday night's NFL.
The schedule is stacked.
So I got to go 3 days a week of not watching football, which I did say the other day in a tweet. I said, it's bullshit there's not football on every day. During football season, there should be football on every single day.
Yeah, there
College, should be. NFL, whatever it might be, there should be football on every single day.
Great. Women's League.
Continue.
Okay. All right.
No comment. I'm not canceled today.
Tim Burton. So the Beetlejuice franchise, A Nightmare Before Christmas, another classic. Batman and Batman Returns. Jack Nicholson Joker, fucking fantastic. And I'll tell you what, he even gets into the more trendy sort of shows and stuff like that with Wednesday. It was a big TikTok thing,
loved Wednesday.
and people were captivated and loved it. I loved Wednesday, and I can't wait for season 2, which I believe that's also this upcoming year in 2025. So
I thought it was before. No, I thought it's soon. I thought it's sooner than that.
It's definitely not this year.
You sure?
I'm so sure. Yeah, I believe it's next year. With Netflix is going to be big next year. You have Wednesday, Stranger Things, You. And 2 of them are finale seasons. You and Stranger Things.
You last season sucked, so it doesn't even.
It was not that good.
It was no. It was very bad.
It was predictable for sure. I remember you were saying that before, and I kept that in mind when I was watching it. All right, you're up with your 3 and 2.
Can you cut us to an intermission right now?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Frank. The end. It says something about November.
Oh, Wednesday?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think we would have seen something already, promotion-wise.
I thought we just did see something.
No. I'm not missing.
No, you're right. Okay, fine. Expected early to mid 2025. Production just began in May because of the SAG strikes.
No,
that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not saying we would have seen a trailer right now, but we would have seen something.
But here's my. Add those sound effects. I want karate chop sound effects in that whole thing. No, the reason I'm pissed about that though is like Wednesday should be a show out in September, and I understand like filming is tough.
Agreed.
But same thing with last year with Stranger Things. When did it come out? It came out in the summer, didn't it, or something like that, or maybe August or something like that. I know it was not the fall.
It was right before the summer started.
Why are you not? You should put that out right around Halloween time, like right before Halloween. That's where the money is, because people love that time of year. And you're adding into
the theme of that season.
That's why I'm like saying it's like I feel like same thing with Wednesday. You would have so much more viewership if you put it out during a time.
100%.
So again,
I think that's when the first
if it's getting
season
put out
was
in May,
released.
you can't. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But if it's getting put out in May, it's probably because of those delays, so you can't do anything about it. But just in general, it was a thought with that. So all right, my 3 and my 2, right?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Gotcha.
My 3 is Tarantino.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Django Unchained, Kill Bill, Inglourious Bastards. Just to name some of mine.
A few. Yeah.
I don't even really want to say anything because it's just like
It's like not.
I mean, he's on your list. He's on your list, right?
He is actually my number 3 as well.
Perfect. So there you go. So it just, I mean, again, some people don't like him because of how he directs and the styles of his movies,
Sure.
but I think they're some of the most creative when it comes to storytelling, and the script and the cinema and everything behind it.
Yeah.
Is so meticulous, which I love.
I'll tell you what, he's one of the best people to do any sort of build-up in a movie for a wrap-up conclusion.
Yeah.
In a third act. Like, I don't think there is anyone else better than him that builds it up so well for everything to come together and wrap. And
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And my 2 is Akira Kurosawa. Rashomon, Seven Samurai, those are movies that inspire. Seven Samurai specifically is what inspired George Lucas to make Star Wars.
Oh, really?
So he's considered one of the greatest directors ever because of those movies. Like, those are 2 of the greatest movies of all time.
What'd you say? Seven Samurai? Yeah, I've heard of that.
So we, as a 2024, have probably not seen it because it was made a long time. It's black and white films.
Okay.
So it's a very, very old film. He's on my 2 for more of a respect thing because of what he created for me, right? Like, again, George Lucas could have been on my list, but I wanted him to be there because, again, these are considered 2 of the greatest movies of all time when it comes to that. And what he made for me was something so important. So I put him there for the aspect of, again, I've seen Seven Samurai, great fucking movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Rashomon, but again, it just goes to show that like what he helped create behind George Lucas's Star Wars.
You were really digging to the roots on that 100%. One of where Star Wars originated.
Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do on that.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's it. That's my 3 and my 2.
Okay. Well, my 3, Quentin Tarantino. I have basically the same ones listed that I want to talk about. Django, Hateful Eight, a movie I didn't like at first, and then I watched watched the Netflix extended cut and loved it.
It is a way better movie than people say, just like one of the other movies that I'll mention later in this film.
I'm sure. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No, Walking Dead.
Yeah, okay. And
got him.
Inglourious Bastards. Those are those 4 are like probably my favorites of him. And then obviously,
what's your favorite movie from him?
Quentin Tarantino? Probably Inglourious. I found that so entertaining.
Yeah, I think Inglourious or Django are mine.
Yeah, Django is possibly a number 2. It's
so funny to think that since we're a little bit younger, we didn't catch that first Kill Bill
100%. And even Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, wave.
You're right.
Again, Pulp Fiction is a top 5 of his, but it's like that's funny to say because someone else is going to be like, how fucking dare you put that after 5? How dare you tell me Kill Bill's not better than Django?
Yeah,
right. I just did, so I don't know what you want me to tell you.
It is what it is, man.
That's it.
My number 2 is, I'll never pronounce his last name right, but I'll just say what you said. Yeah, Denny. Not just Dune, which I loved. I don't love Dune as much as you do because of its lore and everything like that, but I do love Dune. Sicario, a movie I wasn't...
Fuck, why did I not say
Sicario? A movie I wasn't, blown away by.
Which is crazy
like a lot of people are, but I thought it was a very quality movie.
Why were you not blown away by that movie?
I think it was because of the hype of it that I've heard so much about, and I was not left disappointed, but I was left wanting a little more. And a movie I just saw recently from him, Prisoners, with Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal.
So fucking good.
Is fucking phenomenal. I fucking love that movie.
He's fantastic. I mean, again,
if I didn't have Jackman's best performance,
I wanted to put him at 2 just for Dune, but it's like I was like, you know what? Let me put my other people. Let me show the respect to the elders and everything like that, and do it there.
I'll tell you what, Denny, I think has a lot more to prove.
Oh my god, no!
I think he has a lot more to prove.
If we do this list in another 5 years, it's going to be way different because I think Denny is going to kill it. I think Quentin's going to put his last movie out probably, so we're going to see all that come to fruition.
See what happens with that? Yeah.
And then I'll also have a couple others from another director that's on this
probably
list,
a new one or something, an up and comer.
Denny should be on my top 5. He's not on my top 5 because again, it's just like it's so tough.
I was surprised by that.
It's the same thing with Star Wars, though. Star Wars and Lord of the Rings are some of my favorite movies of all time, but it's just so hard to put them there over someone like, again, a Tarantino, who Tarantino put out 8 different movies that are unreal, or Agreed. Stanley, who put out 4 of the greatest movies of all 3 of the most popular rated.
To the name.
It's very hard to do that. But again, believe me, it's different for me as a fan of both of those or all 3 of those to not put them there. So.
Yeah. You got your number 1.
I got my number 1. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat.
Okay.
So my number 1 is a tie.
Ooh, I don't think have you done a 1 as a tie before?
It's
always been like a 5.
I've never done a 1 as a tie.
Okay,
right. But it's because it's between Steven Spielberg, who Jurassic Park, Schindler's List,
Jaws.
Saving Private Ryan, Jaws, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like scratching the surface. Like it's so good.
He created some incredible, not just movies but franchises. I don't think Spielberg, and I'll just say right off the bat now, he wasn't on an honorable mention. He's not on my main list.
Wow,
but
crazy.
Like I said before, put respect on the name. I don't think there's been any other director that successfully created as many franchises as he.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
No, and had such I think the other reason that he's a tie for my number 1 is his involvement. I think he's had such an involvement in other movies, and he's worked so closely with so many other people in the industry. That's really encouraging to me, because it's like, I hear stories all the time of him being like, oh, I went to a screening for this, or I went to go see this movie, or I originally sat in on one of George Lucas's cuts of Star Wars. I think he was involved in some of those earlier movies. Very well, it's like, just to see his involvement and what he's done the entire time during it is just so cool to me. Yeah. To, for someone that just loves how this stuff comes together and stuff, that's, for me, I love that.
Yeah.
My other number one is your number one. I don't even know it, but I mean, I know it.
Yeah.
It's Nolan.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I put the tie was because Spielberg is passing the torch, in my opinion. Like, he has kind of reached that point where a lot of these guys have on my list. My top 5 is a lot of people that have done it and are done.
Correct.
Those honorable mentions for me, a lot of them. Again, Denis is going to be up there soon.
Agreed.
Tarantino is coming to his end.
Yeah.
So you're at that. I mean, again, I put David Fincher on there, still putting movies out a lot.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott, somehow still putting movies out. But again, they're at that end. Alfred Hitchcock is, I think, dead.
Yeah.
Scorsese hopefully does not put another movie out. But you're passing it to this new director where, again, I just said Steven Spielberg stuff. Now I'm going to read you off what Nolan did of modern. And to think that that's what he's done, it's like, holy shit, this guy's way younger and put all this out is insane.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about Tenet, Inception, The Prestige, one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
It's an underrated one.
It is the definition of underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
It is the definition of underrated. That movie is so fucking good.
Agreed.
Interstellar, Batman trilogy, Oppenheimer, Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Your worst movie in there.
Oh, say it. What is it?
Is Dunkirk.
What is it? Do you think that? No, really. Do you think that? I'm not even joking. Do you think? I'm not judging either. Do you think Dunkirk is his worst?
Do you hear something?
You think Dunkirk is his worst?
No, you know what I think is his worst, and I'm not going to fucking say it.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure.
Tenet is his worst movie, and it's still a fucking 80%.
Right.
Like, which, in my opinion, but...
I put it in the 70s.
I put it in the 70s. I put it in the 70s. It was too loud. Like,
shut the fuck up. It wasn't too loud because it was too loud.
No, there were so many fucking people that reviewed that movie. They're like, it was too loud in the fucking theater. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
No, that I've seen, and that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Was it sound, like, was the sound mixing not done right at certain points? Yeah, I've said that. I'm like, yeah, there were certain points where they were trying to talk and you were hearing oh,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, 100%. But what? It was too loud? The movie was too loud?
So
it's the same thing as the movie was too long.
Yeah, I don't like those criticisms either. I don't like those
Why'd you go to fucking see it? Oh, I don't watch long movies. What do you watch?
Yeah, what do you watch?
An episode of Friends?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Oh my god, like my favorite episode of Friends is when Ross gets his head stuck in the turkey. Like, you guys, like, I barely passed anything when it came to schooling my whole life, and you guys are the ones telling me about what I should fucking watch when it comes to the cinema. Whatever. But it's just, dude, it's just, again, I loved Tenet. I loved the concept. When I dove into the lore of it, it just became something so cool to me. And how the really interesting thing about Nolan, besides, again, the Oppenheimers and the things, is that there are those touches of, like, holy shit, is he weaving a universe all together? Because a lot of people say Interstellar is tied in with Inception. A lot of people say Inception is tied in with Tenet. A lot of people say. So...
More of the science fiction ones I would like to be tied together, not the period pieces.
The way he makes a movie is just unreal. From, again, like I said earlier, the sound mixing, the cinematography, the soundtrack of the movie, the way he puts the actor, like, it's like, we've all seen that movie that we loved, but I didn't like that guy as the actor or that woman as the actor or actress. Again, I lose track of how I'm supposed to say it.
I know, me too. I don't know.
But it's, you know what I mean? You've always watched a movie and like, I don't think that was the right casting. Right. Like, oh, I think that was, I didn't love that. So for me, it's like, almost every time, he's just killed it.
Agreed.
You put John David Washington and Robert Pattinson in a movie together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was awesome. Again, for me.
I thought it was great casting. I thought it was great casting for that.
I mean, you put Christian Bale together with Heath Ledger.
That's what I was about to bring up. Heath Ledger, and I was still younger at the time when that casting was first announced. Everyone was unhappy about it.
Oh, everyone was so mad about it.
And he's the best Joker. You have Christian Bale that also people were skeptical about as Batman, and he's the best Batman.
Still best Batman. Too. I don't think there'll ever be a better Batman.
No, I don't think so.
I
think part of that, and just to say, my number one is Christopher Nolan as well. It's about the directing of how you want the actor to portray your character. I think that's, and obviously the actor has major involvement on the influence of how the character is portrayed, but the director is a huge part of it as well, and he's so skillful with that.
I just think we're in such a too, and like this is a side note, like because we're professionals at that. Nolan is Christian Bale is such a good fucking actor.
He's like a method actor without being a method actor.
He's Daniel Day-Lewis, but not.
Yeah.
Like Daniel Day-Lewis is one of my favorite actors of all time. I've put him on my list. I think he is my number one or my number two or whatever. But like Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale, dude, it just every time he takes a role on, he fucking kills it every single time.
Sometimes it's some pretty drastic measures of what he does. He'll gain so much weight, he'll
or lose so much weight. Yeah,
he's incredible.
He's just got one of the best. Fucking dude, it's
I think
so
that's part of the reason why Chris Nolan chose him
100%.
You know,
but Nolan has every time he's picked someone, it's been an amazing casting. People
were also skeptical with Anne Hathaway Catwoman, and I thought she was great as Catwoman too.
Tenet was John David Washington and Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Inception.
Well, Leo. You had Leo. You don't go wrong with that.
Even Jason Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
And that was one of his first roles too. And he's a great actor.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Prestige.
Hugh Jackman.
And
Christian Bale.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interstellar. Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Anne Hathaway.
Batman trilogy.
Christian Bale.
Oppenheimer.
Cillian Murphy, and Cillian Murphy's appeared in every single movie of Christian Bale's. He works closely with Christopher Nolan.
Dunkirk.
Harry Styles.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done, but
yeah, I haven't seen Dunkirk. That's the only Chris Nolan one I haven't seen.
Interesting.
I don't know what it is about war movies with me. I haven't. I mean, obviously, Saving Private Ryan. Like I've seen top, but that Dunkirk. And, like, even there's another one that was out with Andrew Garfield I haven't seen. I think that was a Netflix
Hacksaw Ridge.
One. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
No, it was fantastic fucking movie.
Like, I hear great things about him. I just
fantastic
I haven't.
Movies.
Yeah. I
mean, we did our top 5 when it came to...
War movies?
Yeah.
No, we haven't. That is a topic coming up soon, though.
There you go. I made my list for it maybe then.
Yeah, that could be it. My top 3 as far as Christopher Nolan movies, I mean, you put this into one, the Dark Knight trilogy, Oppenheimer, and Interstellar. I think those are prime fucking Christopher Nolan right there.
So
Interstellar might be very close tie with The Dark Knight and Oppenheimer. That might be a 3-way tie for me. Like
Oppenheimer is one of your best of his.
Oh, dude,
really?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, for real.
Prestige is mine.
I mean, Prestige is fucking fantastic, too. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember it being fantastic.
I would put Prestige, and then I'd put Dark Knight, and then I'd put Interstellar.
Yeah, Interstellar. I think Interstellar has to be on everyone's top 3 Christopher Nolans somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Because it was so good. It was so good.
You know what's crazy, too?
What?
I would put Tenet over Oppenheimer.
Listen, I know you really enjoyed it. Yeah, I know you really enjoyed it. That's fine.
I loved Oppenheimer. It was awesome, but it just, for me, I was like, okay, I liked that a lot.
You're also talking about two different... you're talking about sci-fi and, like, a historic piece.
But I'm such a history buff, so I was good with it.
Yeah, right.
One of the best criticisms I heard was Zach was talking to me about it. He was a little bummed out that it wasn't as science-y, if that makes sense.
Oh, more about the bomb.
It wasn't about the bomb
me that. Yeah.
as much. And he told me that before I even saw it, and then I saw it, and I was like, you know what? I understand that. Like, I get that. Like, I wish there was more about it. There was a lot more about his life, which was
more
awesome.
of a biopic more than anything about his
And
life.
it was intriguing because it was telling the story of this guy's very flawed life, and it was great. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. And also his feelings throughout, killing a lot of people, basically.
A lot of people.
Yeah. So. It was an interesting concept in where to put the focus on someone.
Yeah, it was nutty.
But that concludes our list there for our top 5 favorite directors. I thought both of our lists were great.
Yeah,
I definitely missed out on some that, honestly, if I had to be honest, wasn't even thinking of, like Spielberg. I definitely should have put him as an honorable mention.
Spielberg should be he should be there. He should be in everyone's top 5 regardless, just because of it.
Yeah.
And same thing with me. Like, Scorsese should be on my top 5, but won't be. So it doesn't matter to me. So.
Guys, if you agree with our list or did we miss out on anyone, let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and follow us on all social media platforms at Frank_videos. We will see you for the next episode for whatever that is, but until then, peace out.
2017, I was getting ready to go to EDC, and I was Googling and like YouTubing, EDC Las Vegas tips, EDC Las Vegas advice, EDC Las Vegas vlogs, and really kind of trying to get an idea of what it was going to be like. But when I realized what the information that the people were sharing was very generic and like, pace yourself, stay hydrated, wear comfy shoes. It wasn't like geared towards that specific festival. It was just general festival advice that like, yeah, it was like at that point I felt like it was almost like too obvious. And I was like, that was like a very like, I guess like for like your first time kind of festival goer. And so like me seeing that, I was like, yo, where's the stuff for the people that have been doing it like me, but like they want more, So I did my own EDC Las Vegas like survival guide and like shared tips and tricks that I thought were necessary, you should know, that I didn't get. Learning experiences like, hey, this is what happened to me, don't do this. Like the finesse came from making mistakes.